Good evening. Soft tacos are just burritos that didn't try hard or believe in themselves. Alright, I've dispensed with today's formalities. I'm just chilling out around the house right now, and I'm still looking back at the first set of tongs I made and trying to figure out what I can improve and what I can't improve. So I started working on another set, and I made the boss absolutely minuscule. But I figured while I was messing with this, I'd show you something interesting. The head of these railroad spikes is still in here in this end. Matter of fact, there's a little tiny bit of cold shutting from working this into the head of the spike into the reins of the tong. So I thought, in the interest of maybe this being kind of interesting to someone, I would do a video demonstration on manipulating this railroad spike head into square stock that you can then work on drawing out. Because again, if you are a newer blacksmith or you're just tinkering in your shop and you don't have a lot of experience yet, one of the most valuable things to learn is how to draw stock out and maintain its shape. That's one of the first things I was I was shown how to do and told the importance of at the goat farm when I went and learned some stuff from Mark Hopper. He had people, especially new guys, working on drawing stock out, drawing stock out, drawing stock out. So in a few minutes here, because I hear the mail truck and I'm hoping I got something cool, once that's through here, I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to try to have this camera pointed closer to the top of the anvil so you can actually get a clear idea of where the metal is going when I do this. For those of you that have already done this ain't going to be nothing new. But I've shown a couple of people what's happening while I was figuring this process out myself, and it blew them away. So I figure if you don't have any experience with this yet, this is a handy thing to learn. Again, railroad spikes are cheap. They are a great place to start learning stuff because you can wail on them, and if something goes wrong, you throw it out and grab another one, you lost $1. Not the end of the world. $1 a railroad spike is better than $1 a foot for a blade steel when you're just learning and you don't know anything yet. So I'll be back with y'all in a few with everything set up and running and ready to go on the first heat. Yeah, something else, and this is kind of off subject. Every time I'm in a work environment, especially a dirty and abusive work environment, I always get the same question: do you only have one pair of pants? Because every pair of pants you see me wearing in these videos is beige. No sir. When I worked at the University of West Georgia, they'd give us like $300 a year to spend on uniforms with their supplier. So I'd go through and order every pair of Carhartts I possibly could, maybe one work shirt. And if it was close to winter, I'd pick up like a really nice jacket or insulated jumpsuit just because I don't care as long as I'm warm. I still use those things today. But I have specific clothes that are designated for doing things like this, you know, doing yard work, getting under the car and taking care of stuff, things like that. Clothes that I can annihilate and not feel bad about. You know, I bought this for like $3 at Walmart thinking it would look cooler. Doesn't really look that good, so I can wear it out here, destroy it, not feel bad about it. If it gets a hole torn all the way across, it'll become shop rags. I don't care. So if you're getting into something like this, consider taking your old stuff. Like, I kid you not, our walk-in closet, I have well over half of that full of my clothes because I buy t-shirts like an idiot, and occasionally I buy pants. But there's one section, and it's a stack this tall. Literally this tall of folded up pairs of Carhartts and cargo pants. They're all the same color. They are all virtually identical. And another stack about yay tall of shirts like this. Stuff that's gotten old, stuff that don't look good, stuff I don't like anymore. Throw it in a pile and it gets destroyed at some point doing yard work or something, and I don't care. It may not seem like a big thing right now, but when you end up like I did, where back in 2001, when I got my first long-term job, long-term full-time paid job instead of either hustling side money, you know, doing yard work for myself with no overhead. All the clothes I had were the ones that I liked, give or take. they all got destroyed, and I had nothing left but clothes that either like my parents bought because they don't really fully grasp what I like and what I don't like. So I have shirts that are like, I appreciate it, it's a new shirt. I am so happy to have a shirt that's in one piece to wear for a while. But I'm not a big fan of the design on it. You know, so all I had for years was stuff I didn't really care for that much, or I didn't really need a huge blue Angry Birds shirt, but that's what I had. Don't destroy your good clothes doing stuff like this. Take your oldest stuff, set it off to the side, designate it work clothes. Don't come into the forge or any hobby workshop wearing clothes you want to keep. Trust me, when I was turning pins, some of my favorite shirts have super glue lines all the way down here from doing the CA finish. You know, you put that CA on a little too thick on a spinning piece, it's just going to go out in a straight line if you get it too thick. So many shirts I really didn't want destroyed, super glued just right across here. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Consider the value of your old clothes and what you can do in them in these shops. Okay, we're trying out a whole new camera angle. This is the back edge of my anvil. So hopefully we can make this work. I'm going to pause this and maybe try to get this a little higher so you're looking more down, and then we'll be good to go. The railroad spikes in there heating up now. Okay, I think that's as good as I can possibly make it. I'm leaning on the anvil now, and this is kind of awkward, but I can't really squat close enough to the ground to stay in frame without hurting myself. But if you're new and you got railroad spikes, or you can get them, learning how to turn them into square stock will give you a great practice material and a great raw material for making a lot of knot blade projects. I said I was able to draw these out of 2 railroad spikes just by turning them into square stock. And being able to flatten that head out makes it really, really, really convenient. So I think I'm going to try working from this side. Yeah. If I work from here, I think you'll get a better view. That's what I'm going to do. We are almost ready to go. Get my 3-pound hammer, do what I was taught, keep it on the anvil where your right hand's going to be if you're a righty. If you're left-handed, keep it where your left hand's going to go. I keep my tongs here so when I reach for them, I grab them with the left. Come in, grab this. Okay, now first thing I'm going to do is work on the back here. Try to get that as flat as possible. Then I'm going to go to the side here. And I'm also going to lay this flat right here. And the phone moved, but you didn't miss much. I was just straightening out the sides of the railroad spike. I'm going to get this hot again because I'm about to take where's a good pointer? I'm going to take this part right here and lay it down and smash down on top of here. So set a diagonal and smash in right here to lay this out flat. I'm going to throw this in here for the next heat and then get the phone reset. Okay, I'm going to pause this while I find a way to secure this a little better. Alright, this bad boy is red hot. We're going to have headaches with the phone, but I can't get a better angle to really give you an idea what's happening without doing this right now. I'm still learning. Okay, now I set this here. You see where it's touching? and the head has now been relatively flattened out. Alright, we got an area right up in here. It's going to be a cold shut. I'm not worried about that. This isn't a blade, it's not structural. If you were to take a grinder and knock those ears down a little bit, you wouldn't have the cold shut. And I always clear any excess scale off the anvil. You see a lot of guys do that because it does transfer the print of the pile of scale on top of here onto your piece, especially once you're at the point where you're planishing everything out and making it smooth. Going back to the hammer, I'm trying to learn to control better, and also the one that beats my arm up the worst, because it does move steel, and I'm trying to get my arm back in shape. And don't worry, this will be a pretty short video. It's just a demo on this one part of the process. Back at it. One more real quick heat to clean that up a hair, and then I'm going to pause this, drop that in cold water, turn the forge off, reset Edgar the Imitation Cameraman product, and come back with you to show you what came out of that. And that'll be it for the day for me. I was already tired from yesterday. That also sets me up to try to draw reins out, so I can make another one of these. But this time I'm going to try to mark the boss area out and mark where I want the nib to be before I start swinging the hammer. If this boss was back here, these would be perfect. It'd be great. This is why I'm practicing on some stuff I can throw away and not feel bad about. And if they work, I've got viable tongs that'll last me at least a little while. Don't know how durable they're going to be yet, but that's okay. Alright, clean up heat. Planishing hammer. Back in a minute. Okay, to wrap this video up, I told you I'd keep it short. This is where I ended up with this. Alright, you can see a little bit more clearly where the cold shut seam is going to end up. But with a little hammering and sanding, that's not going to be a major issue, especially once you really draw this out. That's going to become such a small area. You can hit it with a grinder and sand it off and then finish drawing it out and come out okay. What this leaves you, because you saw the process I used, the head of the railroad spike is now in here, in this area. It's now all square stock. I am free to draw this out to make whatever I need to, that I can make with a piece of steel this size. It's a really handy thing to know how to do, and if you want to make your own railroad spike tongs, like, go check out Christian Gerber. Go check out his videos. He did his on making railroad spike tongs, and he even said, and this is what prompted me to think about doing this, that he wished he would have gotten rid of the railroad spike heads or turned them into part of the reins because they were inconvenient where they were. This just opens up a whole lot of mild steel projects. One other thing that I will mention, let me grab another spike, is I think the next couple days here, I'm going to try to take one of these and flatten this face out right here completely, 100%, and upset this to at least complete flat, and then figure out how to mount a handle on this to use as a final planishing hammer. There's not much weight. If I get a good, clean, flat surface on here, I should be able to use that to really, really smooth out and polish some steel. The more work you do with the hammer, especially planishing things out on a clean surface, the less time you have to spend grinding on a lot of projects, or if you're going with a forged finish, the cleaner and more impressive that forged finish is going to be. That little final step with planishing stuff makes a huge difference. It is a valuable skill to have. It is one that I plan on developing as much as I can. So either way, that's what I've got for today. Hopefully if some of you newer guys are watching this, y'all got something out of it. Hopefully this helps you get over the hump with, I don't have pieces of steel to make a lot with. If you got some railroad spikes or you know where to get them, eBay. Order like 26 of these things for like 26 bucks the last time I checked. Price may be different, but yeah. They're, give or take, $1 or $2 a pop. You can buy them in bulk if you know where to find them. Like I said, eBay is your last resort. Usually someone knows someone has got them. So if you got those, you got a lot more steel than you think you do. Because again, this is one railroad spike. That's how far that got drawn out. Had the boss been the right length, this would have been maybe a ½ inch shorter, but the head of the railroad spike is in here. There's the little cold shut line right there. That, yeah, the camera doesn't like focusing on it. There it is. There's the cold shut line right there from where the head folded over, and I didn't quite get it perfect. Alright. This railroad spike head drew out that far. You got more steel than you think you do if you got some railroad spikes. Until next time, praise the forge and pass the borax. Have a good one.